Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrutyam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devi Saraswati Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraet Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Nashtaki. Grandraj Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai. So we're reading Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, 3rd canto, 23rd chapter, titled as Devotee Lamentation, text number 42. So here Maitreya Rishi is explaining to Vidurji about a pastime of Devahūti and Kardama Muni. Kardama Muni, with his yogic power, could produce a palace which was 7-story, fully equipped, and it was aerial mansion. It could fly anywhere. And with that aerial mansion, he traveled to the places where Devi Devatas used to go for entertainment. And that place is a valley of Mount Meru, where Kubera, the treasurer of demigods, and all other presiding deities of 8 directions, they go to the valley of Mount Meru for recreation. Along with that, Kardama Muni and Devahūti traveled to other places like Surasana, Nandana, Prabhas, Pushpabhadraka, Chaitra Ratha, and many other places which were most beautiful and which were beyond the reach of ordinary man. And he traveled to all these places unrestricted, uncontrolled. Nobody could stop him. Just like air can travel anywhere, Kardama Muni, with his yogic power, could travel everywhere and anywhere. Further, Maitreya Rishi is explaining about the yogic power of the Kardama Muni. Kardama Muni had so much power that almost nothing was impossible for him. And that is mentioned here in this shloka. So Maitreya Rishi is saying, Kim durapadanam tesham pumsham udama chetasam yer ashritas tirtha padas charano vyasanatyaya. Maitreya Rishi is saying, what is difficult to achieve for a determined man who has taken the refuge of the Supreme Personality of Godhead's lotus feet? His feet are the source of sacred rivers like Ganga, which put an end to the dangers of mundane life. So here Maitreya Rishi is saying that what is difficult for a person who is surrendered to Supreme Personality of Godhead? Nothing is impossible for him. And Lord Krishna's lotus feet, which is the source of Ganga, which can put the end to the repeated cycle of birth and death. Anybody who takes refuge to Lord Krishna, anything is possible for him. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The words Yer Ashrita Tirtha Padas Charana. Ashrita means to surrender to Tirtha Padas Charana. Tirtha Padas. The lotus feet of Lord Krishna is the holy place. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is known as Tirtha Pada. The Ganga is called a sacred river because it comes from the toe of Lord Vishnu. Ganga is meant to eradicate all the material distress of conditioned souls. Therefore, nothing is impossible for any living entity who has taken the shelter of lotus feet of Lord. So here, Lord's lotus feet is Tirtha Pada, from Charana, from lotus feet, from where Ganga comes. And Ganga is very pure. People who take shower in Ganga, they are liberated from repeated cycle of birth, death, disease, old age. So, anybody who surrenders to lotus feet of Krishna, he is already liberated. And for such a liberated person, he can go anywhere because his liberty is not bounded by anything. So, for a liberated soul, nothing is impossible. Everything is possible for him. Srila Prabhupada, he was surrendered to Krishna, and Srila Prabhupada ji, in his late age, advanced age, when he was 65 plus, he established 108 temples of Krishna across the globe. Thousands of devotees surrendered to Krishna, and Prabhupada ji wrote so many books, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Bhagavad Gita, Chaitanya Charitamrita, and so many other books. This is almost materially not possible. But it was all possible less than 10 years of time. This was all done by Srila Prabhupada. And just because he was surrendered to Lord Krishna. So when we surrender to Krishna, everything is possible. Nothing is impossible. Kardama Muni is special not because he was a great mystic, but because he was a great devotee. Kardama Muni, he was not an ordinary yogi who can do magical things. But the greatness of a person is in surrender to Krishna. Therefore, it is said here that great devotee like Kardama Muni, nothing is impossible. Although yogis can perform wonderful feats, as Kardama Muni has already displayed, Kardama Muni was more than a yogi because he was a great devotee of Lord. Therefore, he was more glorious than any ordinary yogi. There are all different types of yogi. Jnana yogi, karma yogi, dhyana yogi, and some of them have magical powers. But even Lord Krishna says that among all the yogis, yogi nam api sarveshu mata gatentara atmana, and that reference is given by Srila Prabhupada, as it is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita. Of the yogis, he who is a devotee of Lord is first class. So Lord Krishna says in 6th chapter, 29th shloka, yogi nam api sarveshu mata gatentara atmana shraddhavan bhajate omam same yuktatmo prataha. Yogi nam api sarvesham. Among all the yogis, who is the best? Mata gatentara atmana, one who is surrendered. Shraddhavan bhajate yo mam, one who with the faith and determination worships Krishna. Such a yogi is united with me. Same yuktatmo mataha. Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. So, even though one may be a yogi, but if one is not a devotee, then that is not very fruitful. So, one who is the bhakti yogi, one who practices just worship to Krishna, is the best out of all the yogis. For a person like Kardama Muni, there was no question of being conditioned. He was already a liberated soul and better than demigod who are also conditioned. So devotees are already liberated. They're not conditioned, which means that they are not relying on the material entertainments. They are not dependent on the material things. Demigods, Devi Devatas have material desires. But a devotee has no material desire. Although he was enjoying with his wife and many others, he was above material conditional life. And therefore, the word Vyasantayaha is used to indicate that he was beyond the position of conditioned soul. He was transcendental to all the material limitations. So here, Kardama Muni He was already liberated. He was not dependent on the material things for the enjoyment. He was already enjoying service of Lord Krishna, and anything was possible for him, because he could create that aerial mansion, and he could create so many servants for his wife Devahūti just by mystical powers. And Srila Prabhupada ji explaining that for devotees anything is possible. A devotee can do anything and everything because he has blessing of Lord Krishna. With that, we'll pause here. We'll continue our study of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam tomorrow. Grantaraj Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam.